look at that. It's 2023, Sonic Frontiers came out, and it was a success. And with that comes DLC. However, there are some questions on people's minds that they could think, how would I improve this part of the game? How would I improve this part of the game? And by I mean me, because you only care about me. So you're probably wondering, how would you, yes you, how would you fix Sonic Frontiers? Or at least improve the next game? Oh, do I have news for you? This isn't going to be very structured, so don't start wondering, oh, what about this, what about this? Listen, this is just off the top of my head. There's certain aspects and categories that I'm going to be talking about and things that could be improved in those categories. And, you know, hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. And let me know, guys, in the description, let me know if you want to see some things improved, you know. Okay, so the first thing we'll be talking about is visuals. Now, this means stuff like pop-in, you know, we're in 2023 now. I don't think it's right to still be having pop-in. So maybe we can patch it out. I think that has to be done before the game's even created. Like, I think it's more of an engine thing because otherwise they would have fixed it by now. But, you know, if it's fixable, then, you know, please fix it. Another thing I want for the visuals is, okay, look, all right, I'm gonna be honest. The graphics in Sonic Frontiers, they're nice. They look nice. They're the best graphics in the series. The visuals, though, it's very underwhelming, I'd say. Now, obviously, it works for the kind of game it is, but I don't want to be running around in an environment that's just almost grey. You know, it's greyish. There's not much color in it. It's not very vibrant. There's hardly anyone to talk to. So hopefully making the world more vibrant and making it more believable that this is a world that Sonic would be in. And obviously the world in the previous, or at least in Sonic Frontiers, wasn't like that because Sonic wasn't from that world. But if we could at least make it look visually interesting. I have an example of how this could look like. For example, in Mario Odyssey, in the Wooden Kingdom, that's probably how I would have the world look like. I mean, it's admirable the way it looks now because it kind of fits with the setting of the game. But, you know, maybe just that a bit more vibrance in it. And as well as that, improving on the enemies, you know, the Titans, the Guardians, maybe making them have a little bit more color as well. I mean, I don't like the fact that it's just, you know, white, gray, black. If we could just have a bit more vibrance, you know, add some reds, some blues, and obviously I'm saying this and I'm thinking of the Evangelion, you know. Now I talked about the visuals, so let's dive into the actual world. I talked about the color, added more color into it, that sort of stuff, but like how I would improve the world beyond that. For example, I'd have more depth into the biomes, you know, for example, we have a grassy biome. Why is there not a village with like pedestrians or NPCs walking around? They can teach you the laws of the world more than just going to Tails, Amy and Knuckles and having them just monologue it to you, you know. I feel like NPCs, they can give you more tasks to do, so it's not just like you're doing main task, then main task, then main task. You know, you can do more side tasks as well. So they can give you some side quests and they can also, you know, help you unlock different collectibles, like maybe cosmetics or new moves or skill points that you can help to improve your character to make it look better. So that's what I'd probably do. Maybe I'm thinking of it weird, but I feel like NPCs are really like, for an open world game or open world kind of game, I feel like they're kind of standard to have because it just adds more to the game. And if you just leave it without that, then you're just kind of running around aimlessly doing nothing. Like in Frontiers, all you do is run around. You can do combat, you can maybe hop on rails, and that's really it. And even though those things are fun, I feel like NPCs, they just push it to a further extent. Now, I already talked about NPCs, you know, giving you more side quests to do, but I'm talking more like, you know, let's say you're in this village, right? Because that's the only one that I got on the top of my head. Now, let's say you're in this village. Instead of just having to go into a portal and do fishing, maybe you could do some other things like, you know, cutting grass at the side loop, which is something you could do in the game. Let's say you can do that. You can also help with farming, you know, planting seeds into the ground, watching it grow. It can give you some things that you can help to improve your character, like maybe some skill points when like the tree's fully grown, stuff like that. And then when doing this, you can have like lo-fi in the background, like with the fishing. As well as this, having more events that can happen, let's say halfway through the world. Let's say you're on an ice world that's not in the game, but we'll talk about it, don't worry. So let's say you're on this ice world and all of a sudden a massive avalanche happens, you know. Snow is just falling through the ground. It's destroying villages, it's destroying buildings. And that's like an indication that you're halfway through this world. On top of that being the indication that you're halfway through the world, it can also help with, you know, let's say going back to the NPC thing again. You can also talk to them. You know, you can see what you can do to improve. You can do side quests. Now, in Frontiers, we only have 3 biomes in 5 worlds and 2 of them are reused. So hopefully having more biomes in the game for each world can really emphasize that this is its own separate world but it's part of a larger narrative, a larger world. So the idea is that I have here an autumny jungle with leaves falling through the trees, you know, a nice little brownish tint. My second biome will be the old western type, where you have wooden rundown buildings, stuff like that. My third type will be a city biome, but instead of being a normal generic city, it'll be like a cybernetic city, more futuristic stuff and neon colors. Think of it more as a new something city. Is it New York? Next I have a snow biome. See, we're getting back to the snow thing. It has slippery surfaces, but on top of it just being a new biome, it's more like how in, I think it's Raya Island, that's more like the story-based biome, and I think we should have that for at least this game, because why not? But I think, in my opinion, let's just have the story-based biome be the snow biome. You can come back to it and do other things as well, but you can climb up the towers and do whatever you have to do for that one. And then my last biome will be a glitch-style biome where colors are distorted. I don't know what exactly it would be like. It would be like a factory or whatnot, but the colors distort as you progress through the biome. That's just what I think, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they can, see that, or maybe they can improve it and add different biomes that I'm not even thinking about. So no, that's just what I'm thinking. Maybe they can just go back and improve it, or at least improve what they've got, or maybe they can just do what I didn't think of outside the box. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'd also want to improve the world by having more weather options, like let's say having thunderstorms, having maybe asteroid falls or whatever, meteor showers is what it's called, meteor showers. Having other things besides just being sunny and then rainy a bit. Let's actually affect the world here. Let's affect the world here. Next up is the combat now. I don't really have too many grabs for the combat. I think it works with what Sonic is like as a character. Is very fast. So naturally you're going to be trying to do combos fast. But I do have some, some little nitbits. So first, not relying on the Cocos to help you level up. I think this should be pretty obvious. It's very slow. You have to collect a lot. I think just having a normal skill tree, like let's say Jedi Fallen Order or Spider-Man PS4, these might be extreme terms, but let's say you have one skill tree for traversal, one for combat, and then one for whatever the new thing is going to be for this game. I think that just works better than going to the Cocos, Elder Coco and Hermit Coco being like, yes, speed, power, defense, and especially in the skill tree with the game that we have now, it's less about improving your skills and like adding more to the skills you already have, and more about doing specials, which leads me to my next point. All the things that you can unlock in the skill tree should just be specials. Like let's say the Axle Kick or whatever it's called should be the special, Sonic Boom should be a special, the Rush Kick attack should be a special. These should just be specials. Be like a bar, and there should be like a bar at the top, something like Spider-Man PS4 for example, where it's like you can do these specials as long as you fill at the bar. In my opinion, that's what works best, but maybe I'm wrong. And keep the skill tokens the way they are. I think they're fine the way they are. You can defeat an enemy and you collect them, and then you can, but I think that works fine. Now, next step is a very controversial one, cyberspace. I actually do like cyberspace. When I go back to Frontiers, I really only play cyberspace because that's just what gives me that dopamine rush, It's just pure high octane energy. But how would I improve it? Well, I'd make the levels more platform based. Now, my favorite cyberspace levels are the ones I either inspired by SA2 or in the World 4, 4- whatever. I just think those work a lot better than 1-1, for example, or the ones that they tried to rip from Generations. And, it's just, you actually have to do more things. That's just the best way I can really explain it. It's just fun. Making the timings more stricter. In my opinion, the window for succession rate is just too... It's just not it. And even though, yes, there are exceptions like 1-2, it's just not enough. I think we need way more. I think we need to, it helps us go back to the levels, having a strict time. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And yeah, and then having the controls be smoother. I think we already knew this. Also having a healthy mixture of reusing things and creating new things. I don't really mind the reusing. I get why they have to do it. But I think, if we're going to do this properly, I think we're going to have to look at what needs to be reused, or at least not needs, because it doesn't need to be reused. Look what can be reused, look what can be new, and just mix it together and form something nice. Have reused parts of levels and then create new parts of levels and have that be a level, if you know what I'm saying. So I've basically finished all the main, what I need to improve for the main things, cyberspace, open world, visuals, combat. But let's talk about, the miscellaneous things that don't really need their own category, but it's cool to have. Having more cosmetics, I don't know why this isn't in the game with the kind of game we have, but having more cosmetics, it just, yes, benefits everyone. Like in the avatar, with forces, yes. Having an inventory now, you're probably wondering, how's it gonna look on Sonic? Just give Sonic a pouch. Just give him a little bag, a little pouch, and then you can store things inside. Whatever needs to be stored, it can be stored. Now you see those chest icon things that you can side loop? I like that. Generally, I really like it. But just having memory tokens, vault keys, and unlocking springs, that's just not enough in my opinion. I feel like if we're gonna have, like, let's say cosmetics in the game, I feel like we should have that be hidden underneath, or maybe, I don't know, but other things that can be improved, you know, other things that can be, you know, whatever. If it's there, then, and if they can improve on it, then yes. Other traversal options, like let's say we can get a boat, we can ride on a boat, why not? We can run on water, which is, why wasn't that in the game? Or we can, you know, use a bird to fly around, and we was close to that bird idea. Using music to actually elevate how you're moving around in the open world instead of just having it be one track and then and letting us control what Sonic says. I mean, it's not a Telltale game, but we can have elements of it, right? So that's it for the end of the video, and that's what I want to improve for Sonic Frontiers. Let me know down in the description what you guys want to see. You know, maybe it's the same thing I agree with, or maybe it's something that you want to see, or maybe you agree with one thing, maybe disagree with another thing, and then let's have a friendly discussion in the comments. And yeah, that's really it for this video. Kishimo was on Twitter, right?